Hey there, everybody. Franklin Taggart here, and it's the virtual coffee break, but my coffee is long gone. It's a little bit late in the evening on a Sunday, and I just don't want to. I don't want to stay up any later tonight than I have to. You know, it was daylight savings time ending this morning, so we fell back, and now my internal clock is going to be completely messed up for God knows how long. Here's the thing that's on my mind tonight, and that is we've got a couple of weeks left before the holiday shopping season starts in earnest, and I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, and that is I want you to make a list of all of the creative people that you know. It could be an artist, it could be a crafter, it could be a musician, it could be an author, it could be a dancer, a filmmaker. It could be anybody who is trying to make a professional thing happen with their creative direction. Make a list, and before you start spending money on gifts from wherever you buy your gifts, other than from the people that you know, would you make a commitment to buy gifts from some of the creative folks that you know personally, right? And if you don't know a lot of creative folks, I'm going to ask you to change that. Make a New Year's resolution in November to start to get to know more creative people directly. So what that means is that you need to start hanging out at like art galleries and museums and openings and concerts and authors' book readings or poetry readings or whatever it is. But you've got to get out and start to interact with the creative people. And if there's anything that you can do to support them in the pocketbook, support them in the pocketbook. This time of year is one of those things where most of the artists and the creative people that I know, things kind of start to slow down for them. And then, January and February are traditionally, kind of recovery months. And if you can make some substantial purchases from creative people that you know at the end of this year, at the end of this holiday season, it will do several things. The first thing it will do is that it will let them know that they are supported. I can't tell you the number of artists that I work with and creative people who come to me saying, I have no idea if anybody even cares what happens with the things that I do. And that's a big question that a lot of them have. So one of the things that happens when you open up your pocketbook and you buy the work of a creative person that you know is that they are validated by that. It's a really important thing. Otherwise, they're wondering, why they ever left that job at the bank. The second thing that opening your pocketbook to a local creative, somebody that you know, the second thing that is done in that transaction is that money is more likely to stay local, which means that it's going to support people in food and beverage industry. It may support people. It may support retail stores in the area. It may support who knows what, but it's going to be used to primarily buy local goods and services. Now, sure, everybody can get online and make purchases from wherever in the world that they want to. But most of the time, when you buy from a creative person directly, most of that money stays local. All right. So it's good for the local economy. We love that, don't we? The more money can stay local, the better off we all are. Now, the third thing that happens when you buy goods and services from local creative people is that you are creating a connection that's really important. And that is a connection to the culture that we are a part of and that we're surrounded by. If we don't contribute to our culture locally, where are people going to go for it? That's the question that I would ask you. Think about that. If you're not going to invest in your own local culture, where are you going to invest? Where are you going to go? Are you going to go somewhere where you can get really pithy sayings that will look really nice with your wallpaper? Well, if that's okay, I'm not going to criticize that if that's what you want to do with your money. But the truth is that when you contribute to the local culture, our community thrives, right? Now, I want you to think about what it would look like in your world if you could not buy creative material, if you couldn't buy books, if you couldn't buy fiction, if you couldn't pay for entertainment, if you couldn't pay for music, if you couldn't buy art. What impact would that have on your life? When you invest in your local creative person that you know personally, when you invest in those folks, it's not just buying their work, it's investing in the culture of the world around you. And quite honestly, it's a really wonderful way for you to enrich your own life. So, if you don't know any artists, start getting to know some, but make a list of all of the creative people that you know. And again, they could be florists, I don't care. But they do need to be people that you have some kind of a personal connection with. Make a list of all of those folks, and in the next couple of weeks, before we start getting into Black Friday and all of the stupid days of the week that retail and commerce have claimed for themselves, before we get there, open up your pocketbook and buy some work from a local creative that you know personally. All right, now this is going to be one of my soapboxes. I'm never going to jump off of this soapbox because I believe in it with all of my heart. There are very few things that I believe in with all of my heart, but supporting local artists and creative people is at the top of my list, right? You got a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, before Black Friday, before Cyber Bloody Blah, before Small Business Saturday. And that's all. Small Business Saturday is actually another one of those days that I would encourage you to open your pocketbook. However, I do want you to think about those creative people that you know personally and the culture around you. And I want you to make an investment with your holiday money this year. That's all I got to say about that. It's my soapbox for today. And I appreciate, as always, your time and your attention. And I'll be back again tomorrow with another coffee break. So long.